What are the true stories of Patagonian peoples? Imagine a land where the wind shapes the landscape and ancient stories echo through the mountains and coastlines. That's Patagonia, a place full of history and resilient peoples. Long before explorers arrived, indigenous groups thrived here, each with their own unique way of life. The earliest known inhabitants were the Tehuelche, also called Kawesqar, who roamed the vast pampas and mountains. They were nomadic hunters, tracking animals like guanacos and rias, using every part of their prey for food, clothing, and tools. They built simple shelters and left behind rock art, like the famous Cueva de los Manos, which shows handprints over 8,000 years old. These paintings tell stories of their spiritual beliefs and daily life. The Tehuelche were tall and strong, and early explorers named the region Patagonia after them. They believed spirits influenced their world, with a dual view of good and evil spirits guiding their actions. Along the coast and islands, the Kawesqar, also called Alakaloof, were expert canoe navigators. They lived in small groups, relying on the sea for food. They gathered shellfish, hunted sea lions, and built temporary huts from branches and animal skins. Their lives were deeply connected to the ocean, moving along the coast to find food and safety. Further south, in Tierra del Fuego, lived the Selknam, also called Ana. They were fierce hunters with complex rituals and social systems. Sadly, their story changed dramatically when European settlers arrived in the late 1800s. Colonization brought violence, new diseases, and forced relocations, nearly wiping out the Selknam population. The last full-blooded Selknam died in the 1970s, and much of their language and customs disappeared. Meanwhile, the Mapuche, originally from southern Chile, expanded into Patagonia. They became skilled farmers and horse riders, resisting both the Inca Empire and Spanish colonizers. They developed a social system called Mapu, which guided their community life and responses to outside threats. Many Patagonian descendants today trace their roots to the Mapuche, who still maintain their culture and traditions. The arrival of Europeans changed everything for these peoples. Horses and cattle altered their hunting and movement patterns. Colonization brought conflicts, land loss, and cultural disruption. Yet, their stories of resilience continue. Today, many indigenous traditions are still alive, and efforts are underway to preserve their languages and customs. The stories of Patagonian peoples are part of the larger Latin American history, showing how these communities survived and adapted. Recognizing their true stories helps us appreciate the diversity and strength of the original inhabitants of this vast region. Learning about their past encourages respect and support for their ongoing cultural revival. These stories reminded us that even in the face of great change, the spirit of these peoples remains strong and alive.